Here's my concern. So you have your proposed expenses at 41 million and the revenues at 35. So there's a $5.8 million difference, which is 16.2%. So we always said, we turned back 7.5% to 8%. But that only gets us halfway. That's concerning. That's a 16% is a big gap between revenue and expenses. So I don't know. I mean, that's concerning.
We understand it's a big increase and a big change, but we are a service organization. As we look at making sure that we retain top talent and are able to manage it, it's one of those things that we have to balance both. When we look at, obviously we had a couple of large expenses right at the end of the year with $3 million income tax refund and the $2.2 million additional appropriation to flood mitigation. If revenues start coming in real crazy, our teams are going to have to adjust, and we'll have to work through that.
You can cover the 16.2% then?
I think we'll be pretty close. We definitely are prepared for us to dip into the reserves that we build up. Hopefully, our income tax will grow significantly over the next couple of years, but there's nothing definitive at this point in time.
I'll go back to kind of the same comments that Dan had. I'm concerned about the imbalance also, and the fact that we're $1.5 million into our cash reserve at the end of the second year and hoping for a lot of things to happen, right? To me, it's more like we're not budgeting. We can't budget, so we just pad it and hope for the best. You've always done well. Was it, Rob, 7.8 to 8%, right? Every year. One thing that we do know with the economy is that we always lag the economy by a year or so, year and a half. We're not there yet. The economy had a bad year. We haven't felt that yet, but that should be coming at us because our revenues are always in arrears. So I don't see that our income is going to increase unless we've got large amounts of people coming into town that I'm not aware of. So I don't see that big increase coming. What I would suggest that council consider is if we think we're going to return another 8% in 25, let's take that 8% and cut it in half. Go to 4. Cut your budget by 4%. That 4% gives us 1.7 million back. At the end of the 2 years, then we're actually still above our estimated cash balance that we need, our reserve, because we're at 1.4 now. That would put us 300,000 over. We're not in the hole because everybody knows, if you're not familiar, if we do go into that cash balance or into the reserve balance, we have to note how we're going to get out of it, right, Mayor? We have to have an ordinance that says we're going to pay it back in this amount of time and this is where it's coming from. So I would suggest that we ask the administration to go back, cut their budget by 4%, get us back to a balanced or something that's not into our cash reserve in the second year. And that way we can feel good about the pay ordinance that we have to, that's coming up for the third reading next Tuesday, because we'll know that'll be covered and we'll have to pull that 4% from other places in the budget. That would be my suggestion to council.
I agree with the approach. I guess, as part of we're kind of like the board of directors and you're the CEO. I love the parade of champions coming through, but that's not, I don't need that detail. I think that's your job let's give you the overall budget and adjourn this meeting, honestly. That's what I would do. I think this is your job. I mean, I love hearing the stories, and I like to get to meet the people, and it's good. But that's
you can read the reports.
But really, I think how you balance your budget and how you spend. I mean,
I'm surprised that people here didn't cheer. I think I heard cheering.
But I just think that's our CEO's job and our service director, and I think. But
so. I was kind of thinking on the same lines of doing a cut. I was thinking 3.5%, 4% as well. So I think that is a smart conversation that we're having that'll help us in the overall budget. I do think it's important to hear our departments, review, because when we're getting ready to do capital spending or know what's happening on the streets, what's happening with safety services, we approved a fire and police union contracts. But again, I'm still fighting that we need to increase our public safety staffing numbers, and we still have to figure out how to get to that number on top of it, because we haven't done that for decades. So I think do we need to get to the nitty gritty of all these fine line items?
Yeah, right.
No, but I think we need to kind of get an overall approach of what they're looking at in their departments for the year, just to have a feel for things as we go into the next calendar year. But I was thinking 3.5%, 4%.
We still budget it at 4%. If you need the money, and we've got the money, we see that that is holding true, that we're having a 4%, whatever it is this year, and it's coming at us, and we've got extra cash. All you do is come to appropriations and leave a cookie at the door, and we'll give you more money if we've got it. But that's the thing. This, to me, is that pivotal type of year where we don't take things for granted, because we're looking at red numbers that we've not seen, at least not in my time frame being here, and that's only a decade. And it's, it's concerning. So why not just fall back, do things like they used to do in the old days, which was budget to your number, and if you need something else, a truck falls apart, the axle falls off a truck, never forget that story. Come to us, we've got the money, appropriations will get it, and we're on our way. Versus just having this money sitting there hoping that we'll ultimately give it back to the general fund.
I'm echoing Jeff on this one, but I still go back to that business collection number has me concerned, which is a big reason to dial back our percentage overall on the budget, because $6 million on business when we lost Cooper, Marathon Speedway sale, we had a bunch of things going on, and I don't know that I see those bigger dollar paying jobs coming in yet. Now, if there is something happening, I think it's worth a conversation for council to be on that page to understand that number. But I'm having problems swallowing that one.